Am I the a-hole for lying to my family and friends about who's the infertile one between me and my wife? Dude, oh my gosh. Let me read this story and let's see how much of an a-hole this guy is. My wife, 32 female, and I, 32 male, have been married for 7 years and have been trying for a baby for 3 years. It's taken a toll on our marriage, and I admit that many times I've complained to family, friends, and coworkers about my wife's infertility. Well, what I thought was my wife's infertility. Maybe it's because we live in Utah, but whenever the idea of us being infertile came up, people just swarmed in giving my wife recommendations to fertility specialists. The talk was always, oh, my wife saw Dr. Whatever and we ended up having twins. Or, maybe your wife is just too stressed out. And I believed it because my wife contracted TB when she was 20 and volunteering in a different country. When she got back home and saw her primary care doctor, they just casually told her that TB could affect the genital area and prevent her body from housing a baby. But then we finally find a doctor who straight up told us that there's nothing wrong with her fallopian tubes or her endometrium. She suggested that I get tested to see if I'm the problem. The verdict comes back that I'm the one with a very low sperm count. I was so shocked and went to get another opinion, which told me the same thing. I felt so shaken. And because a lot of people knew about our struggles, they also knew that we went to a doctor again. And that's what you get for telling people your business, dude. At a family and friends gathering, people started asking me about what we found out. And I just panicked and said that my wife's TB was likely the cause, but not 100% necessarily. People saw that as my wife being the problem, and somebody even suggested that I go through with divorcing her since I was 32 and complaining about being childless. They said I could be a dad within a year since it was such a short marriage. Wow, what a-hole friends and family this guy has. What I didn't realize was that my mom and aunt would jump on that suggestion and start telling friends and their kids that I was getting a divorce, and that it was my wife's fault because she couldn't have any kids because she was so reckless when she was young. What was worse was that some people thought it wasn't even TB but a bacterial genital disease. This all got back to my wife through a friend, and she was furious. She said that she couldn't believe that I was lying to everybody and saying that she was the problem, and that she was getting tired of the pitying and disapproving looks that she was getting in our small town, and that I needed to set the record straight or at least tell everybody to shut up and that we're not divorcing. So am I the a-hole? I panicked and felt like I didn't completely lie because TB could be exacerbating our problem. But my mom really screwed things up by making it malicious. Now I'm in over my head and feel completely bad. This guy is not only the biggest a-hole, but he's also extremely childish. For one, this is the perfect example as to why you don't tell all of your friends and family your business. For two, you don't get to just blame somebody else for your issues. And I cannot stand his friends and family for even suggesting that he gets a divorce. They completely overstepped. So as far as I'm concerned, him, his friends, and his family get a 10 out of 10 a-hole rating. And his mom gets a special rating of 12 out of 10 because calling her an a-hole would be an understatement. So let me know in the comments what you guys think and what a-hole rating you would give them, because maybe I'm being too harsh, but this story just pissed me off. Also, I wanted to say thank you so much for watching, guys. These are some of my newest zodiac jars. I had a Cancer and Libra jar, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments which of these two jars were your favorite. Also, drop what sign you want to see me do next because I have more videos coming up very soon. So make sure that you stay tuned. Also, if you're interested in any of the products that I used in this video, make sure that you click the link in the bio. Alright guys, I will see you in my next video. As usual, stay kind, stay amazing, keep on resonating. Peace. Am I wrong for not going to my daughter's wedding? There would have to be a good reason to miss your daughter's wedding. The wedding was on March 25th, which is actually my other daughter's birthday. She was born March 25th, 2022. She was barely 3 months when she passed away. Oh no, man, that's really sad. Now, my wife, who is not my eldest daughter's mother, has been wanting to celebrate our daughter's life on the date of her birth. I also didn't feel it was appropriate to leave my wife on this day since she's still grieving, as am I. We haven't even really fully come to terms with things yet. When my oldest daughter was planning her wedding, I told her that I'm doubtful that I'll be able to go if she chose that date. I understand March 25th is significant to her relationship and that's why she chose it, but it just wasn't feasible for me. I wasn't even in a good place mentally on that day. It was a day of tears. Obviously, there's a lot of guilt about missing my oldest daughter's special day, but I honestly don't know if what I did was wrong. Her side of the family keeps sending me hateful messages, particularly her mother. So am I wrong for missing my daughter's wedding? Dang, this one is so sad. It's honestly hard to say that anybody's in the wrong here. Well, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I do think the oldest daughter should have changed the date. I can't imagine why that date would be so important to her. And I feel like I would rather have my parents at my wedding than choose a specific date. I mean, she could have probably done the next weekend. Also, for the OP, I do understand why they would have such a hard time going to the wedding, especially since they had a celebration prepared for the other daughter on what would have been her first birthday. But although I can only imagine how hard it would be, I think I would go to my daughter's wedding. They still have a living daughter, and it's very important to keep that bond strong. So if it were me, I don't think I would miss my daughter's wedding. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Also guys, let me know what you think about my newest pick. The customer wanted crystal clear Aries pick with silver glitter for the hair, and these are the results. Oh my gosh guys, I think this one came out so cute. Rate this from 1 to 10. Am I wrong for not wanting to date a transgender person? Uh-oh, this sounds like a touchy subject. Let's find out. Let me just say up front that I have nothing against transgender people. I don't understand it, but if that's what you want to do, then I have no problem with it. I'm in university and there's a big scene here for LGBT rights, etc. A lot of my friends are very active in the community. I don't involve myself much in it, but it's nice to know that they're doing something good for the world and they're fighting for equality. I myself am a lesbian. I've dated men in the past before I knew I was lesbian. Anyways, I broke up with my girlfriend last week and one of my close friends said that she knew someone who was single and wanted to hook us up. I said yes and she gave me her friend's number. We arranged to meet up in a pizza place. When I got there, I found out this person was a transgender woman. That is, he was very clearly a man in a dress. His voice was deep and he had a very masculine face. I'm using masculine pronouns because this man, it seemed, was making very little effort to look like a woman. All he did was shave his beard and wore a dress. Okay, so far just the way she's talking about this woman is really disrespectful. But let me continue on. I was a bit shocked, but I stuck with it to the end. He asked if I wanted to go out with him again, and I let him down gently. Guys, I know I'm not using the right pronouns, but I'm just reading the story as she typed it. This is not meant to offend anyone. When I saw my friend again, I told her that it was not cool to just set me up with a man like that when she knows I'm attracted to women. She said that I was being transphobic for being a lesbian. Apparently, it doesn't matter that I'm not attracted to men. I should just be attracted to him because on the inside he believes he's a woman. And to top that off, all the other friends in our friend group is on her side. They seem to think that I'm the crazy one. We actually got into a huge argument about this, but we've apologized since and we're still friends. But I just can't stop thinking that it is not okay for her to set me up with a man like that. I know a lot of people are gonna say that I'm the a-hole here, but I just wanted to see what the opinion on this topic was outside of my friend group. Am I wrong? So guys, I know that this is a very touchy subject, so please be kind in the comments because otherwise YouTube will just take the video down. But all I have to say is clearly this person is the a-hole, clearly. Now I want to start by saying she is not the a-hole for not wanting to date a transgender woman. It's completely understandable for you to have your own preferences. If you're a lesbian who likes feminine features, you're probably not going to be into most transgender women, and that's perfectly fine. The problem is how she addressed this woman as a man the entire post. Not only that, but the way she judged the way that this woman looked. You're an asshole if you judge someone that harshly by the way they look, no matter what their gender is. So for this one, I have to give her a 9 out of 10 a-hole rating. The only reason I didn't go all the way to 10 is because it seems that she was at least respectful to the woman while she was there with her on the date. So while being respectful to others' opinions, let me know what a-hole rating you'll give her on a scale of 1 to 10. Also, I can't leave out the friend, so I'm gonna give her a 4 out of 10 on the a-hole rating because she definitely made that an uncomfortable situation for both of them. Like, as a straight woman, I would be offended if someone set me up on a blind date with another woman. You just don't do that to somebody without letting them know. So let me know what you guys think. Also, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Let me know which one of these pics is your favorite. Am I the a-hole for not taking my wife's side and siding with my parents? Well, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Okay, here we go. Background: my wife, 28 female, and I, 30 male, as well as my brother and his wife, went to visit our parents as we haven't seen them in a while. My parents, 57, had a box of $300 ginseng in the fridge to be given as a gift for their close friend's wedding anniversary tomorrow. We know this because it came up in conversation during lunch. They also told us to help ourselves to anything in the fridge, but to not touch the ginseng for obvious reasons. The problem came when a few hours later, my parents called us in a panic, saying that they couldn't find the ginseng and asking if anyone saw it. I didn't take it, and at first thought, I thought that they just misplaced it somewhere. However, they insisted that they both agreed on not moving it out of the fridge drawer for that exact reason. All of us denied taking it, and the conversation got more and more heated when my father started yelling that someone must have taken it, since it only went missing when we came to visit. All of us continued to deny taking it, with my wife being really quiet. Then my father said that if it doesn't turn up soon, he's gonna have everyone's belongings checked. That was when my wife admitted that she took it. Apparently, it was some popular brand that my in-laws mentioned, and she wanted to give it to them, and she thought that no one would notice it since it was in an inconspicuous place in the fridge. Wow, so his wife is just a straight up thief then? Like a legit criminal? I can't even, oh my gosh. My mother-in-law ended up calling and saying that my parents overreacted over such an inconsequential thing and screamed at me that I was an a-hole for not defending my wife. The thing is, in my opinion, it wasn't a small thing. My wife literally stole hundreds of dollars from my parents and tried to lie her way out of it. While I agree that my parents shouldn't have started yelling and accusing us, I feel like my wife was in the wrong for taking the ginseng in the first place. This situation has caused a lot of friction and we haven't been speaking since coming home. So am I the a-hole? Never have I had an easier time saying not the a-hole. 100% not the a-hole. He should be probably divorcing his wife as far as I'm concerned. If someone can just straight up steal from somebody's house and then literally sit there in silence when they're looking for it. And this wasn't just something small, and she knew it. They literally told them what it was there for. And it was $300. And for her to just take it, she's a criminal, and I honestly wouldn't even blame the parents for trying to press charges. I would never have that lady over my house again. The husband is not the a-hole at all for not siding with his wife, and to me, he would have been an a-hole if he did. The wife is a 10 out of 10 a-hole because she is literally a thief. And the mother-in-law is an 8 out of 10 a-hole to me because for her to call and say that they overreacted, honestly, I want to give her a 10 out of 10. I really do, but she didn't steal anything. But she did raise the thief, so I just cannot stand the mother-in-law. I can't stand her daughter. You guys let me know in the comments what a-hole ranking you would give these people on a scale of 1 to 10. Man, some of these stories just get me so pissed off, and this is one of them. Goodness gracious. Anyways, guys, you have to let me know what you think about my newest mold. Oh my gosh, guys, I am obsessed. So this mold makes the cutest little jewelry box, and it's squared. It has really cute little diamond designs, and I used a super translucent blue and then an opaque blue to make this box, and I wanted it to have an icy frozen look, and I love the results, guys. I cannot wait to make something else with this mold. So let me know what colors you would like to see next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Am I wrong for refusing to babysit for my sister despite my brother-in-law having a family emergency? I, 37 male, and my wife, 33 female, have no children. We live in a small 2-bedroom house with the second bedroom converted into a game room / office for us. My sister, 32 female, and brother-in-law, 35 male, have 2 kids. Nephew, 8 male, and niece, 9 female. Both are great kids and I love them and would do anything for them. We've babysat for my sis and brother-in-law before and had no issues until recently. On April 7th, which is Good Friday, my brother-in-law got a call that his sister, 28 female, was in a near fatal car accident along with 2 of her friends. She had to be airlifted to the hospital. They weren't sure if she was going to make it, so family members were being called to say goodbye and to support the rest of the family. This happened across the state we live in. Sister texted me around 10:40ish that night, asking if I was awake, and then called to explain the situation. She then asked if I would babysit the kids over Easter weekend while they traveled across state to be with brother-in-law's family. I told her no, I couldn't. I work in a steel manufacturing plant. She knows this. We work on a rotary shift, and after Easter on Monday, I would be starting the overnight shifts. I told her that I was going to sleep during the day on Saturday and Sunday to get accustomed to the third shift. When she asked if my wife would be willing to help, I again told her no, since she's going to be doing Easter stuff with her family. When she asked why I couldn't just sleep in on Sunday, or why my wife couldn't take the kids with her to the Easter stuff, I snapped back at her and gave her 3 reasons why. 1, I wanted the weekend to adjust my shift and sleeping schedules and couldn't do it in one day. 2, my wife wanted to spend Easter with her side of the family. And finally, that no is a complete sentence, and that's final. She got all pissy and said we'll talk later and hung up. They took the kids, and on the way, my sis texted me that I'm an asshole for not taking her tragedy to heart, for not helping them in their time of need, that it wouldn't have even killed me or my wife to miss a day of sleep or take the kids with her. And my brother-in-law is absolutely pissed at us. He says that he hopes to God that we don't have an emergency because then he'll just need to sleep in that day. I haven't responded, and we're currently not speaking to each other. And I guess I should add that when my sister called, my wife was asleep to get up in the morning to do her family things. Our parents live in another state, and our brother lives in another country. But I don't know why she didn't just call some of her friends when I refused. So am I wrong for not babysitting my sister's kids in her time of need? Yeah. How is that not obvious? Come on. I mean, I would even get behind him if he actually had work. But just so that he can sleep in, are you kidding me? And it's not like it was just a little family emergency. The brother-in-law's sister was in an almost fatal car accident. The fact that they wouldn't be there for them in their time of need is actually really messed up. And somewhere in the beginning of this story, I recall him saying that he would do anything for his niece and nephew. Clearly, that's not the case if he's putting sleeping in over being there for them. Honestly, I'm the most mad that he didn't just ask his wife. She might have been perfectly fine with taking the kids to the Easter thing with her family. He didn't even give her a chance to say yes or no. So for me, I'm gonna give him a big 9 out of 10 asshole rating. To be honest, the only reason that I didn't go all the way to 10 for the rating is because they're not really his kids, so they're not his responsibility. But he really sucks for not helping out his family. So let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate this asshole? Also guys, let me know which one of these jars is your favorite, 1 or 2. Alright, deuces! Am I the a-hole for demolishing my daughter's room when she moved out? My 18-year-old daughter Meg is in college. She moved in with her boyfriend a few months ago, which left her old bedroom empty. Her room used to be right next to our tiny living room. To make our tiny living room into a normal sized living room, we decided to knock out my daughter's room walls. Then we refloored the space and fixed the walls. Now it looks like the bedroom was never there and we have a spacious living room. When my daughter came home to visit and saw that her room was gone, she made a huge deal about it. She started to get all emotional and said that if we never wanted to let her move back, we should have just said so instead of completely demolishing her room. I told her that if anything happens and she needs to move back, we'll welcome her and she can sleep on the couch for as long as she wants. She accused us of wanting to get rid of her forever, and then she said that we obviously didn't want her to visit because we got rid of her room so fast. I mean, it was only a few months after she moved out and she thinks that we should have waited longer. So am I the a-hole for not waiting longer for the renovation? Yeah, that's actually pretty messed up. Because yeah, I get it, your daughter moved out. You guys were probably so excited to make that new living room. But with no warning, like no concern for the daughter at all, and only months after she moved out? I mean, she's only 18. A lot of 18-year-olds will come move back with their parents for a little while. And I'm not saying that the parents were necessarily obligated to let their daughter move back in with them. But honestly, that's kind of what makes you an a-hole as a parent. I mean, if your child turns 18 and then you're like, deuces, and then you just get rid of their room completely, that's a little bit harsh to me. I don't know. And I mean, they could have at least gave her a warning instead of her coming back to the house and being surprised that her room was gone. Big a-hole move, in my opinion. So, I mean, I can't go all the way to 10, but I'm gonna give them an 8 out of 10 a-hole rating, and that's mainly because they didn't even tell her. I mean, what kid wouldn't be kind of hurt about their parents completely getting rid of their room like as soon as they move out? I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments what a-hole rating you would give these parents. Also, I just wanted to show you guys one of my most recent extra resin projects. Okay, so for this one, the colors are a little bit random, but I had some really pretty blue resin and teal resin from one of my jars. And then I had orange and yellow from another one of my jars. So I thought that these colors would look super like retro. I don't know, it just kind of gives me like 70s vibes, so I'm really digging it. I never worked with this color combo before, but I'm kind of thinking I might need to do it again. So you guys let me know what you think about the final results, and I will see you guys in my next video. Stay kind, stay amazing, deuces. Am I the a-hole for canceling the entire vacation when I found out that my stepdaughters deliberately hid my daughter's passport to get her to stay home? I've been married to my wife Beth for 5 years. I have a bio daughter named Jessica and she's 18. I also have 2 stepdaughters named Monica and Leah. They're both 25 and 28. Both are single moms and live with us currently. There's been issues about my stepdaughters asking my daughter to babysit their kids. Jessica didn't have a problem with it at first because this is what she does to earn money. But since her stepsisters don't pay her that much, she started refusing to babysit. We ended up working this out by having my wife take care of paying for the babysitting. I planned a family vacation for 3 days and everyone wanted to go. However, both Monica and Leah suggested that Jessica stay home and watch the kids, since Beth doesn't want her grandkids to come. What? The audacity! They said it's because the kids are used to Jessica and hiring another babysitter would cause issues. They also said that Jessica wasn't too fond of our destination, but it was obvious that Jessica wanted to go. They insisted, and Beth even offered to pay her double. There was just a lot of back and forth on this, till I just finally demanded that they stop bringing it up. So we were supposed to go last week, but when everybody had their bags all packed and it was time to go, Jessica found out that she didn't have her passport. We searched her bag and then we went home and searched there. Beth and my stepdaughters kept insisting that we had to go back to the airport or else we would miss our flight. They insisted that Jessica could just stay home with the kids. They even told the new babysitter to go home because she was no longer needed. I refused to go and kept searching for the passport until Monica admitted that she helped Leah hide Jessica's passport to get her to stay home with the kids. I was livid. I tried to get her to tell me where it was, but she said that Leah hid it. Leah refused to show me where it was, so I threatened to cancel the vacation, and that's when they gave it back. At that point, I decided to just cancel the whole vacation, and I literally blew up on them and berated them. They stayed upstairs for a while, and Beth refused to speak to me and said that I punished my stepdaughters for worrying about their kids and wanting them to stay home with someone they knew. I got told I overreacted and ruined the trip for everybody. At this point, I want to kick my stepdaughters out, but I can't because my wife co-owns the house. So am I the a-hole for canceling the trip? Heck no, he's not the a-hole for canceling the trip. Screw those stepsisters and screw their mother. I wouldn't have canceled the entire trip. I honestly would have just canceled their 3 tickets and I would have taken my daughter on the trip myself. Oh my gosh, what catty women. And they're all grown women. If I was the husband, I would be so pissed at Beth and her daughters, and I would honestly be questioning the entire relationship. So for me, I gotta give all 3 of them a 9 out of 10 a-hole rating, because for them to have the audacity to hide her passport and then lie about it just to make her stay home and watch their kids, they sound irresponsible, entitled, and downright disrespectful. Obviously, the dad's a-hole rating is a 0 out of 10 as he did nothing wrong. I feel really bad for his daughter because she's getting bullied by grown women and it's just messed up. So you guys let me know in the comments what a-hole rating you would give all of these women on a scale of 1 to 10. Also, I wanted to show you guys my newest creation with this new mold that I got. I'm absolutely obsessed with this mold, and you know I had to use my signature rainbow look because pink, blue, and yellow are like my 3 favorite colors to pair together. So let me know what you guys think about the final results. Make sure you rate this from 1 to 10. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching and supporting my videos. Like, I am so grateful. It means so much to me. So I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Deuces. Am I the a-hole for not talking to my husband because he's going on a boys trip instead of our honeymoon? I honestly don't feel like I have to read any more to know that this guy is clearly the a-hole, but I gotta read the rest to find out. So listen to the end and then you guys be the judge. Who's the a-hole? I, 26 female, and my husband, 27 male, got married in December of 2022. We plan to go on our honeymoon next year because of work commitments that we both had. Last month, he told me that we'll be going on our honeymoon on my birthday in July, so I have been looking forward to it. Last week, he told me that his work project will end in June and that he misses his boys and would like to go on a trip with his boys to Thailand and was inviting me. I was heartbroken as I have been looking for outfits already. I refused to go with his friends and him. He told me that he'll go on our honeymoon later some other time, which I'm sure he won't because he barely gets time off from work. He told me that one of his friends' wife will be coming too. But that didn't make things any better. He added that he'll stay home with me for my birthday and only go after celebrating with me. I refused that too. Earlier this year, he pitched this idea of going on our honeymoon with his friend and his wife. I didn't like that idea because I wanted it to just be me and him on our honeymoon and only our memories. We have been on radio silence for the past week. Please let me know, am I the bad guy? This one is so messed up to me. Like, how hard is it for him to just take some time with just his wife? I would be pretty pissed too if my husband was trying to invite his friends on my honeymoon. That doesn't even make sense. The honeymoon is for the couple. So if both parties are okay with it, then honestly, the more the merrier. But as soon as he saw that was a problem for her, he should have just dropped it. It's very obvious to me that he just doesn't want to go on vacation with her and he really just wants to go with his boys. So I definitely think he's the a-hole here. Now, they did mention that he's been planning this trip with his friends for 3 years and it keeps getting canceled. So I get that he wants to spend time with his friends, but his wife should come first. So for this one, I'm gonna give the husband an a-hole rating of 7 out of 10. Honestly, I wanna go higher, but I gotta reserve the higher rankings for real big a-holes. You know, there's some people that really do some messed up stuff. But he does seem like a crappy husband already, so a lot of red flags going off over there in my opinion. So you guys let me know in the comments what a-hole rating you would give the husband on a scale of 1 to 10. Also, you have to let me know what you think about my newest Taurus butterfly jar. The customer picked my gorgeous pink and yellow butterfly and she asked for a matching jar. And these are the results. And I think this one is super cute, super springy, and I hope she loves it. So let me know in the comments what colors do you guys want to see next. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Deuces. Am I wrong for asking my daughter why she can't be more like her siblings? Honestly, I don't even have to read this story to know that the answer is yes. But you know I gotta read the story to find out for sure, so here we go. I, 48 male, have 4 children. Lewis, 24 male, Angela, 22 female, Adam, 18 male, and Madison, 15 female. I love all 4 of my children equally and would do anything for them. However, my youngest, Madison, is quite a troublemaker and it's quite a task to parent her most times. All of my children, excluding Madison, have always had hobbies and have done something with their lives. We have a whole cabinet full of awards won throughout the years, while Madison, she doesn't even have any awards, and mostly she just has certificates for volunteering rather than actually winning something. However, this hasn't stopped me and my wife from loving her. The fact that he even had to mention that just doesn't feel right to me. So far, he's seeming like the a-hole to me. My 3 eldest are academically skilled, whereas my youngest isn't. Madison is privately tutored by a retired teacher, and usually she's engaged in these lessons. My wife thinks this may be because Madison's aware of how much we pay the tutor rather than actually loving to learn. Anyway, Madison's math scores for the term came back and she did horribly. Out of the 30 kids in her class, she ranked 29th. When I asked Madison about these scores, I tried my best to stay calm and not let my anger show. I explained to Madison that her scores were horrible and that she should be ashamed of herself. She should be embarrassed that we spent all of this money on her tutoring and she's still failing. Okay, this guy is definitely a tool. Like, most definitely. She told me that I should be glad that she was 29th and not 30th. This pissed me off. I was trying to have a serious conversation about her and she made a joke. Now, I didn't yell or scream at her, but I just sighed and asked her why she couldn't be more like her siblings. They were all able to achieve much higher grades without tutoring. When I said that, she seemed to get upset and began crying. Then she tried to claim that she felt insecure because all of her older siblings had achievements that were on display and that she had barely nothing. I told her that there was a reason why, and that seemed to upset her even more. She quickly ran up to her room despite my protests and locked herself in there. When my wife came home, Madison had a chance to talk to her before I did, and she literally lied to her and had her believe the story that she came up with. My wife sat me down later and told me that I was too harsh. She told me that I need to start putting up Madison's achievements. So this morning, I decided to put up Madison's failed test up in front of the cabinet for all eyes to see. My wife wasn't amused and called me a man-child, and my eldest daughter said that I effed up. So am I wrong? This one was very easy for me to answer, and I think you guys already know what my opinion is. Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that leaving her used pad in my brother's place was inappropriate? My wife and I were invited to my brother's 31st birthday. He's single and lives alone in his apartment. So to give you the heads up, my wife and him don't get along really well. They can be civil enough to sit in the same room though. So anyways, we went and had dinner and talked and everything was going well. No arguments or anything until after my wife went to use the bathroom. Later, my brother went to use the bathroom and then came back looking pissed. He kept giving me and my wife looks, but I didn't know what was going on until he pulled me aside before we left and told me that my wife had left a used pad in his bathroom. I was shocked and didn't know what to say because this felt highly inappropriate. He said he didn't appreciate what my wife did and that it was a sign of disrespect towards him. This is so stupid. I apologized profoundly and said I didn't know about it. He asked me to speak to her or she wouldn't be welcome in his home anymore. Dude, these guys are so dramatic. We got in the car and I asked my wife about it. She nonchalantly said that there was nothing wrong with what she did and that my brother was being ridiculous. Yup. I kind of flipped and told her that it was really inappropriate for her to leave her used pad in his place, even if it was in the bathroom in the trash can, because it made him feel uncomfortable. She yelled and asked me what she was supposed to do, and I told her that she could have just took it with her and threw it outside and not in his bathroom. That's my brother's place, and he already told me how he felt about it. She yelled at me, calling my brother an incel and me an asshole for getting in her face about it. She said that she needed to use the bathroom and it's not like the pad was visible since she dumped it in the trash can. At home, we were still going on with our argument and she kept calling me and my brother names. She currently isn't speaking to me and avoiding me entirely. Regardless, I feel like it's his place and he gets to express what makes him feel uncomfortable in it. Bottom line is, it's his house and he didn't like seeing that in his trash can. She needs to get over it. Wow, this story is so ridiculous. Like, both of these men deserve to be single. Now, I will say that I hope that she covered it up at least because I wouldn't just leave a used pad open in the trash can. But it's a freaking pad. Of course she threw it in the trash can. Where else was she supposed to put it? In her pocket? Both of these brothers are the assholes. You guys let me know what you think in the comments.